There used to be just a big piece of plywood here with some shims underneath it. I tried to fix it a little bit underneath by sistering some joists in the basement, and that did okay. And then I have some shims underneath here that you can kind of see. It's really wonky. This is the level of the floorboards underneath. The floor is very uneven in the entryways, and I think it has to do with the settling in the middle of the house around the chimney stack. Floor joists settled, but the stone foundation walls, they don't move. So you can see where the stone ends and then the joists begin, and it's really messed up. But it seems to be really bad around the center of the old foundation, the old house. And then around the edges, it's not as bad really at all. So there's going to be some scribing with the baseboards, and this is a huge transition from the kitchen floor to the living room. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. There isn't a normal transition piece that I can find at a big box store. So I'll be making one myself out of probably a big piece of oak or something. This morning I've been sanding down this entryway. There were some pieces that I still had to fix on it before we could completely finish it like the rest of the room, which is fine. It's a patch, so whatever. Anyway, it's sanded and ready to go now. It's as good as it's gonna get, and yeah, I'm pretty excited to have this done. It's a new day. Yesterday, after I used the belt sander, it just aggravated my arthritis or fibromyalgia or something. I had a lot of swelling feeling in my fingers. I don't know that they were actually swollen. And then just an all over, I don't know if it was the arthritis, but I think it's the fibromyalgia. Anyway, the pain was really odd. I was feeling like ill, like sick from it, not like, oh, really, really painful or whatever. So I decided to go run some errands instead of continuing work and just like making it worse. But I did get 2 layers of varnish on, and it still feels a little rough, just from the way that I sanded it and probably from using a paintbrush to varnish the floor. So I'm gonna go over it with a sander and see if that helps. And anyway, that's the plan for this morning. Okay, that's another coat. I know you can't see me, but you get the idea. This is another coat. I do them super, super thin because I'm using a brush, and just to reduce the amount of bubbles and streaks and paint marks, you know, that kind of thing. So if you do it really thin, you get a nice coat. And that goes for any kind of varnishing, any, you know, woodworking project or whatever. Nice, thin, even coats are best, and nice, smooth, long brush strokes. This could probably use at least one coat, maybe two, maybe three, I don't know. Maybe I'll want to sand it again. I'm not sure. This is just kind of a different project, and it's different wood from the rest of the room. The rest of the room is original, which is almost 150 years old. This is probably mid-century, so maybe between the 50s and the 70s, I would say. It was yellow, really pretty yellow. So it had some older varnish on it, and I don't think it's been sanded down before. I got it at a reclaim shop near Madison that does architectural reclamation and things like that. So they had a nice amount of maple wood flooring, just enough for this project, and maybe in the downstairs bathroom, there's a little nook area that will be a closet and maybe some shelving, and I think I could refinish that floor. I think it looks pretty good, and it matches okay with the floor here. It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn close. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so next project is, I ran out of the wood that I was using to trim the windows and stand. Found some that seems like it could work. I'm hoping to prime and paint it and see if that keeps the stain from coming through. I really don't want to sand it down. So we'll see how that goes. And otherwise we'll just go get new wood for the trim. We're just trying to save money where we can, and we had the free wood, so yeah. Okay, I have a bit of time before I pick up Emma this afternoon, so back to plastering in her toy room. Okay, that's it for today. Walls are looking as good as I can get them. And the corner, I glove on the corners a little thick and then sand them down so that they have a nice crispy edge. But I think that looks really good. That's ready for drying, and then a good sanding. And then the primer. I have here and down this wall to do, yikes. And then the other walls in this room are already drywall. They took the lath and plaster off. It's like shiplap underneath, but it looks good. There are just a few patches that need a little touch up. And then you can see half the room is the old beadboard, and I added new beadboard. They do not line up, they're not the same size. But I did care because it's the toy room. It's maybe going to be a reading nook at some point, or maybe a small office, I don't know. But it just is not, I can't focus on trying to find the perfect beadboard for the ceiling when it's not that big of a deal. And then the trim, there will be a ceiling trim on there, window trim to do, the baseboards, and then I would really like to do some funky mural or bright paint. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet. And then shelving, and these cubbies that we have for Emma, and a credenza that I've had from IKEA for a long time. And just, you know, whatever, just small bits and pieces, lots of storage for her toys and our crafting supplies. So yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.